Doubles and coffee. Between yesterday, Friday, and Saturday, the most dastardly, disgusting thing has taken place. You know, all of you know that I've told you all that the PNM fake news media is disgusting. The shareholders benefit from PNM corruption, PNM nepotism, PNM contracts in disparate spheres of the national economy, and therefore the PNM fake news media pushes an agenda to try to keep PNM relevant, allowing one standard for the PNM and then creating a pristine higher standard for anyone else, thereby creating a situation that the PNM always returns, no matter how good another party performs, another government, the PNM always comes back because of the PNM fake news media. And I've been showing you all, and you all, the population has been doing very well to break the power of these mass media joints. The Guardian, the Express, the Newsday, CNC3, 13 radio stations, and of course TV6. Well, it has now taken a different turn, a more dastardly, disrespectful, disdainful, nasty, wicked, malicious turn with TV6 especially. I have received 7 different WhatsApp messages from citizens, one of them being a specialist practitioner and doctor of 45 years, asking me if the Honorable Prime Minister is healthy, if she suffered a stroke, if she's sick, if she's unconscious, if she's in a coma. Now, I had seen this sort of nonsense for the last 2 or 3 weeks spinning around PNM propagandist nonsense, and I ignored it and gave it the attention that it deserved, which was absolutely none. But now, when a body that purports to be a media house, TV6, television, part of One Caribbean Media, when there is a reporter who is hired and paid as a journalist, who is now circulating questions based on some rumors that she heard, rather than asking, investigating, checking social media, seeing, looking, bumping she starter, going and look for camera. These things are not within the purview of TV6 journalists, because work and effort to provide truth is not the issue. I am in receipt of questions sent by one Renessa Cutting, whoever she is, of TV6 News, Renessa Cutting, and to all the TV6 managers, the executives, the shareholders, the board members. Listen to this very carefully, because these messages have been sent out by the TV6 News department. And when I'm finished here, any citizen who watches TV6 News, something had to be wrong with you all. This Renessa Cutting sent out questions. Let me just read it. Let me don't editorialize it at all, This is someone purporting to be a journalist. This is someone that is part of the so-called fourth estate. Now you all understand why I don't talk to none of them. If I have to talk to y'all listen on Doubles and Coffee, listen to Douglas Politics. I will talk to the people direct through social media, because I'm not going through this PNM propaganda. It's not media. These are not journalists. They do not demand the respect that journalists globally would engender, that governments must respond to the fourth estate because the information needs to get to the population. There are no journalists here in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this. Renessa Cutting, sending these questions for a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, a lady who has been Prime Minister for just under 3 months, and who has brought significant benefits to the population, to children, stand your ground legislation, budget consultations going on, working, bringing cabinet notes, debating in parliament. She has debated more than Penelope Beckles, who couldn't even sit in a chair. I'm just bringing this to you. Listen to this lady who is a TV6 News journalist. Renessa Cutting from TV6 News here. How are you? Messages were circulating this week that there would be No post-cabinet briefing. So entire basis of some inquiry is messages circulating. They have messages circulating that COVID come back, that COVID vaccine was real, that there's a conspiracy that Trump in the Epstein files and Epstein, he didn't releasing it. There are many conspiracies and many messages. But this reporter says and begins her questions by saying there were messages circulating earlier this week that there would be no post-cab briefing, allegedly due to you being out of the country, meaning the Prime Minister. You know. A Prime Minister does not leave the country unless it's Rowley on a VAPS and stay out for 27 days without information. A normal Prime Minister other than Rowley will state, I am going here on this business or for this personal reason, and therefore someone will be put to act and she will choose, and the president will appoint that person to act as acting Prime Minister for a sustained period, whatever exact period. That's how a Prime Minister moves. Kamala Persad-Bissessar was Prime Minister before. She never left this country without putting someone to act as Prime Minister, without alerting the people, because to do so would be very irresponsible. So this Renessa cutting starts out wrong. Let me continue. As well as claims concerning your health. So there'll be no post-cab, according to her, from messages going around wherever she does get she messages from. Now, it's ironic that those type of messages were going around the PNM sycophants, the nasty, disgusting, lying PNM propaganda machine. So somehow, this TV6 reporter's messages seem to link up with PNM disgusting, nasty lies. It's just my observation. She said that there would be no post-cab briefing, allegedly due to you being out of the country, as well as claims concerning your health. With post-cab being cancelled today, persons are wondering whether there is any truth to the claims. Are you willing to dispel the rumors? That's a report, that's journalism, that is questions. Those are how you formulate questions to be sent to a Prime Minister based on your friends and your WhatsApp messages, or who you have a close affinity to, whether in Balize House, Balize Juice, disgusting PNM, whatever it is. That's it, TV6. Beautiful. Has anybody spoken to or seen the Prime Minister since Thursday? Yes. Thousands and thousands of people. Thousands of people in a constituency all over. In fact, yesterday, if you pay attention, if a journalist would have taken the time to go on social media and check, if you want to know where the Prime Minister is, a good place to check is UNC social media on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. The Prime Minister was live in a Christian gathering, worship, singing and chanting, praising the Lord with other practitioners of the Christian faith yesterday for about 2 hours in the evening in a beautiful blue professional business suit, sitting down next to Vandana Mohit, who then went to her constituency in her cabinet gear, the cabinet that was chaired by her Prime Minister, whom she was sitting down next to while worshipping. Vandana then went into Shogunas East to serve the people. And there's a video on social media showing Vandana in the same outfit that she was wearing, sitting down next to the Honorable Prime Minister in the night in Shogunas East on Friday, on Thursday evening after cabinet. Word around the public sector, says this TV6 news reporter, word around the public sector is that she may be out of the country. A Prime Minister may be out of the country. A journalist can easily check. Check with the office of the Prime Minister, check with the airport, check with... You don't have no sources at Customs and Immigration. You have no sources in the airport. You don't have an MTS cleaner who see the Prime Minister sneaking out through the VIP. You don't have nothing to check. You just hear rumors she out of the country when she right here, Franco-Men chairing cabinet. This is a TV6 reporter in a TV6 newsroom. This is why I tell all you, turn off all those things. Don't listen to it. It is disgusting. But she doesn't want, this is where it gets even worse. So now they create a couture, a concoction, a fabrication, a fantasy that she out of the country. And now that she out of the country, she don't want to appoint an acting prime minister. So she is so irresponsible. She so don't care about the country that she will go about her business, whatever it is, and not leave an acting prime minister to stay in charge of all the citizens who love her, who voted for her, who expect her to do her duty. This was just like that. This Renessa cutting is concluding and concocting and manufacturing this. What's her mens rea? If she was to leave, why would she leave and not say that she's leaving? And why would she not appoint an acting prime minister when she has done so in the past many, many times between May 2010 and August 2015? If you think it gets worse, Renessa cutting of TV6 News, and to each and every one of you who watch this fire burn TV6, fire burn Express, fire burn PNM fake news media, it has just gotten worse. This is ridiculous in the highest order. But I don't expect anything to happen to Renessa Cutting, this professional journalist. It seems, she continues, something else might have happened on Thursday evening. On Thursday evening? Really? While the Prime Minister was live on social media, everybody go and check, praising the Lord with Puerto Rican pastors. Where she could not understand some of the Spanish, but she was praising and singing and joining the Christian fraternity in praising the Lord Almighty. Something else happened. An ambassador from a European country told me the information in the call is that she suffered some kind of medical trauma on Thursday evening and has been semi-conscious and non-verbal since. The decision to call the SOE was taken by others, biding for time. I hope they know people can remain alive in a vegetative state for a long time. They need to appoint someone to act as Prime Minister. Really? So you're going back to there? So therefore the Attorney General also, John Jeremy, is a total blatant pathological liar too. Because John Jeremy did a whole press conference after the police said what they recommended and why they recommended to the Attorney General and to the Prime Minister. The Commissioner of Police said he met and he alerted the Prime Minister and the Attorney General of why, where, what, when he recommends a state of emergency. The Attorney General called a press conference with his backdrop and so on, took questions from the media and said that he even recommended that the Prime Minister go and take a rest because she was working so hard all night that she had not slept in 28 hours. Go and check the tape. And that he was there with her discussing, analyzing, taking the information and making a decision on the safety and security of the citizens of this country. And this Renessa Cutting and other PNM fanatics have people messaging my phone to ask me if the Prime Minister healthy, if she all right. This is disgusting. It's distasteful, it's dishonest, it's malicious, it's nasty, and it's PNM. So TV6, over to you and your Renessa Cutting. To all the other citizens, I tell all you, switch off them thing. Get your truth from social media. Yes, everybody has seen Kamala. Kamala was praising the Lord. Even Lord Almighty laid his or her eyes on her, singing and listening and talking. The whole cabinet saw her. The people see her. She will be in Parliament. Well, if you all seen this on Saturday, she would have been in Parliament on Friday. This is disgusting. And to citizens, don't... It's hard, you know, because you all love your Prime Minister and so on. And you all would not believe that human beings would be so dastardly and so malicious. And to Renessa Cutting, whoever you are, Lord, it must be hard to go through life as such a wicked dunce.